Bonjour! Welcome back for the third video in 6-4. In this video, we're going to talk about the average value of a function. We have a little formula that we'll utilize, but first we're going to go ahead and develop that formula. Okay, that's our objective. Find the average value of a function, or average height. All right, so discovering the formula for the average value function. The average value of a function represents its average height. So step one here, they're going to take us through some processes. It says draw a horizontal segment from x equals a to x equals b in the figure to the right, which could represent the average height of f of x. So if I just go ahead and here's x equals a, here's x equals b, what's the average height, say, from this value to this value? Well, I would say somewhere like in here, okay? And now what we have is I have kind of two balancing areas. I have this area and I have this area, right? Which are symmetrical, right? Or they're even. Okay, so they kind of cancel each other out. So the area of the rectangle, okay, this area here, can be calculated by length times width. So, or height times width. So what would be the width of these values? Well, it depends upon our x values here, a and b. So if I wanted to find those values, isn't that b minus a? So that's my width. My height would be here, and you can write this in, would be the average height, so f average. And now, so if I wanted to kind of represent this area, isn't that the integral of f of x from a to b? And that is equal to b minus a, again, the width times the height. Okay, well, we want to solve for the average height, right? That's the objective of this lesson. What's the average height of a function? Well, the average height, and again, I'm going to call it f average, okay, the average height of the function is equal to the integral from a to b of f of x dx. Okay, and to isolate the height, we have to divide both sides by b minus a. Okay, so there is your formula. Here is the average value of f of x on a closed interval a to b, and there is a value f of c such that the average height is equal to the integral of a to b f of x dx divided by that width, b minus a. Okay, and then another kind of way of writing it is you can factor out, right, that constant value 1 over b minus a. So you can go ahead and calculate it this way. And it's important. A to b must be closed and it must be continuous. Okay, very, very important. So let's go ahead and look at the next example. Okay, so here is example 4, and they say find the average value of f of x equals x cubed minus x on the interval 0 to 2 without using a calculator. Okay, so again, if I want to calculate the average value of a function, I'm going to use that formula, and this is just something that you're going to have to memorize. Again, it's the closed interval from 0 to 2, right? So here from 0 to 2. And that is f of x dx divided by the width. And so the width is 2. All right, so I can go ahead and factor out that 1/2 from the integral of 0 to 2 of f of x, which is x cubed minus x dx. And I'll integrate. So I have 1/2 times x to the 4th divided by 4 minus x squared divided by 2, okay, evaluated from 2 to 0. So I'll go ahead and I will evaluate. Again, notice I'm keeping track of that 1/2. That 1/2 that we factored out, I'm not losing. I plug in 2, so 2 cubed would be 16/4. Minus 2 squared is 4 over 2. Okay, and now I'm going to subtract. I'm going to evaluate 0. Notice when I plug in 0 here, this is 0. When I plug in 0 here, it's 0. So I'm subtracting 0. And you can go ahead and simplify it, or, I mean, that would be your numerical answer there, right? So this is 1/2 of 4 take away 2. So 1/2 of 2 which is 1. Okay, so there's your average height, or your average value of f of x. Example 5, it says use your calculator, and I'm going to stress this. When it says use your calculator, or you may use your calculator, just know that you have that resource, okay? Take advantage of that. To find the value of c on the interval 0 to 2, where f of c is equal to the average value of the example found in 4. So what they want to know is, okay, so what's c if f of c is equal to 1? Well, f of c would be f of x evaluated at c, so c cubed minus c is equal to 1, and I want to know this. So what we're going to do, we'll rearrange this to make a polynomial, so c cubed minus c minus 1 is equal to 0, and what we're going to do is we are going to use our calculator to find the roots. Okay, so let's go ahead and cruise on over to the calculator. Boom. And what I'll do is I'll show you 2 ways of doing this, one graphically and one analytically. I'll use a calculator first, so open up a new page with the calculator, and we're going to go menu, algebra, because this is an algebraic application. We want to find polynomial tools, because that's what we're working with, and we want to find the real roots of a polynomial. I want the real roots. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to punch in my function, c cubed minus c minus 1, and comma, and I want to find c. So if you have a CAS, this process looks differently, and it's actually kind of more structured, which is nice. You can cruise on over to Myestis's videos. He has it on the CAS version, so you can see what that happens. But here it is. Just enter your function, comma, and then enter like what value you want to solve for. You hit enter, and there is our answer. So 1.32472, rounded or truncated, I mean 3.125. I want you to round. I want you to be better. I'm going to hold you to a higher standard. Okay, I also want to show you this if we graph this. So I'll add another page, and I'll quickly graph this. I'm going to punch in f1 of x. So notice I have to use x's. Semantics, we'll just use a different variable, no biggie. I'll hit equals, and again, I want the roots. So menu, analyze graph. I want to know, okay, what's my 0? What's my root? And there you have it, 1.32. This is below standard. So here's what we'll do. I'll go menu, settings, and I don't want float 3. I want to increase this. Float 7, and there you go. So we get the same exact answer. So thus, right, C is approximately 1.325. Okay, there you have it. That's how you calculate the average value of a function. Peace. Catch you next time.